Africa's fundamental problem is that it is always being ruled by a consumption driven middle class elite. And Africa needs a production driven capitalist ruling elite because the consumption driven elite lives off state revenues instead of living off profits from the private assets that they should generate. And that's why you say there's no governance, there's only politics. If you go to a country like UK, it's this what I've said that the middle class lives off what is called profits generated from their work, and therefore they can sustain the economy. But here, every politician wants to export, import, find how to make deals and tender. There is no value adders. They are only brokers. They are only traders. There are no value adders. And that is why the economy is suffering. You might actually shout until the people here on the roof that Ruto must go or somebody must go. But if we don't fix this economic problem, we will always be driven by political narratives. And that's why Fred Okango believes that anybody with an economic solution is useless, only the person who can marshal numbers and win the election. So that is my submission just to support what my brother, Professor Imenya, was talking about. Then the other thing that was also mentioned before was that actually was being mentioned by Professor Manyora later on. It's been commented widely on this coalition thing, that coalition building. And I saw some young man wrote something very interesting. If you know that if someone thinks the election for 2027 will happen the way they have happened, Fred Okango has pointed out some novelty that there will be a new IEBC. But I also want to say that you cannot tell me the voters have remained the same. I saw something very interesting that anytime Raila Odinga talks for 1 minute or Ruto talks for 1 minute, after 10 minutes, everybody has figured out everything that they mean. Just something to maybe make it easy for you the evening. Somebody was saying, not that I believe, but I saw some very interesting from a young man who is 17 years old who said that Kalonzo is Rigiji's project, Ruto is Raila's project, Matiang'i is Uhuru's project. So all those candidates you are mentioning is somebody's project. Somebody was just trying to say everybody somebody's project. So he ended by saying, Fred Ogolla, do not be anybody's project. And I'm happy I am not so far. You can't figure out that to me. So I'm trying to say, these young people, we are with them in spaces. For you, you lecture them. For me, they lecture me. And they are really going to change something. They might surprise you, they might not. But long live that possibility. They actually believe that Kenya needs a revolutionist. Someone whom we should support should not be supported on the basis of the fact that they can win. And I want to say here, Professor Manyora, because you're holding this discussion, that we should not support someone because they're likely to win. If that is the case, God could have not brought Jesus in this world. They could have just said the devil had won the world. Let the devil win. So for me, I will never support someone just because they are likely to win, because that means I'm also having too much interest. I understand that Fred Okango has been fighting against this administration, and he has discovered he does not want to continue that fight because he goes to bed with those who are likely to win. For me, I will be wrong, but let me just believe what I believe, that whether Raila helps Ruto to win the election, it is not good for this country. And it has not been good for this country, and will never be good for this country. But with that, I also know very well that we have a problem in the opposition, because the opposition believes that there is one term, but they have not realized that one term will not happen. That one term must be made to happen. And I like what someone says here, that there will be a wave. This wave must be caused. It is no longer going to be a Big Bang theory to create the world using Charles Darwin theory. No. Someone must cause this. Even if you look at the one of 202, it was caused to happen by the unity that was there, by the rallying call that Moi must go. And the rallying call Moi must go was not just shouting. People mobilized. If you look at the connection between the civil society and the political community, that time was big. Nowadays, civil society is not very strongly with the politicians who are saying they can send Ruto to home. And I don't know why they have not seen that gap. That gap is glaring. And I want to say again that united opposition is not yet united because they are not yet united around any single compelling value proposition. I'm inside the United Opposition. I'm saying so because we came up with the People's Restorative Justice Commission, and we want these people to unite around the issue of restorative justice and start working for it. But it's like they have not taken it very seriously. But of course, I believe that people like Justin Muturi, Kalonzo is still on it. It will be nice if people like Rigiji comes on it, Matangi comes on board. Martha Karua is supporting it. But we want that united opposition must have one agenda that can be so compelling, like the people who transformed this country through what they call Saba Saba. They came and said Article 1, this Article 14A must be. These people must have something that is so tangible like that. That will try to unite them together. And I want to respond now just to my brother Chirage, who said
time is up. Time up. Time up. Time. I'm going.
I'm almost.
Yeah, give you a minute, half a minute, okay?
Yeah, I am happy that Professor Charage is trying to propose to us a candidate. The only time an opponent tells you which player to field against it means the opponent is not very serious. So I'm sure we might consider Kalonzo's highly, if at all, they consider him to be the best candidate for them, because that may not work. So what we need to tell each other is that is this winning good for Kenya and the rest? And I want to end with what Fred gives me an advice that there's no chance whatsoever for people who are trying. I want to say that when you rule out people, you also rule out yourself plus everyone else that believes in you, and you want to believe want you to believe in them. So what I want to say, Fred, just focus on what you believe in, focus on what will work for you. I will never fight you, my brother Fred. I'm only having my own dream for my country, and I think that's what we should do. Long live Kenya. All of us, even after the election, before the election, still believe in Kenya, and that should be the mission for this discussion. Thank you very much.